Hello, I'm Colonel Deborah McDonald. I am the Director of Admissions at the United States Military Academy at West Point. I'm a 1985 graduate of West Point and a career Army officer, having served nearly 25 years as a commissioned officer in the Transportation Corps and now as the Director of Admissions. I'm married to my West Point classmate, and we have two children. One is graduating from college this year, so I absolutely understand the college admissions process from the inside and out. And I also have a high school junior who's going through the admissions process right now. I hope that my answers today will help to guide you and your parents through the admissions process to choose the right college for you. One thing that I always tell prospective students that they should perform as best as they can in every endeavor, not only grades or test scores, which are important because West Point looks at an overall candidate. 60% of our evaluation is on academic potential, which is their rank in class and also their standardized test scores. But we also look heavily at leadership and physical fitness potential. So it's important for a student to be involved in extracurricular activities, not only members of those activities, but leader positions within those schools. Be the president of the high school student body, be the president of a high school club. If they're interested in scouting, achieve the rank of Eagle Scout with Boy Scouts or Gold Scout with Girl Scouts. Also play sports. Varsity level sports are ideal, and especially if they can achieve varsity letters or team captain status within those sports. We're interested in a well-rounded student all across the board, but essentially those that stand out are those that lead. As I said earlier, our algorithm when we evaluate candidates is on a whole candidate concept, and 60% is based on academic potential. We register as the number1 predictor for success as a student's rank in class. So if a student does not perform exceptionally well on a standardized test, we'd recommend that they retake that test, and we recommend also that they take, if it's the SAT that they didn't do well on, then we ask them to take the ACT because perhaps they'll perform better on that. But we'll really scrutinize their transcripts in high school and look at what courses did they take, how well did they do in those courses, and then ultimately where did they stand against their peers within that school. And that will oftentimes carry the day for that student if they didn't perform as well on their standardized test scores. Because over time, perseverance, determination, persistence has carried the weight for them to do well academically. Senioritis, that's always a problem with candidates applying from high school to colleges. It is very important to colleges how students do in their high school year, senior year at high school. West Point requires students to submit their 7th and 8th semester transcripts. That would be their fall and spring semester of high school to West Point. And we have been known to withdraw offers of admission if a student has received a D or an F, or you can look at it and see that they pretty much said, hey, I got it in the bag and I'm going to West Point. Well, not if you gave up. I often get asked the question about advanced placement classes. Should I take an AP class even if I'm not going to get an A in that course? I would recommend that if an AP course is available and they can get A's or B's in those courses, then they should take those courses. Same way with honors program courses. Anytime that they can have a more rigorous academic schedule that shows West Point that they're reaching to the highest academic level, that's going to be promising for them. However, if they will struggle in an AP course, I would recommend a student not take that AP course. If they're going to get a C or a D or an F, then the AP program is not helping them. West Point has a unique application essay, different than many colleges or universities. In fact, we have 3 precise questions which rotate throughout different candidate application years. But predominantly it focuses on why do you want to be a leader in the Army? What do you think makes a good cadet or Army officer? And finally, as a leader in the Army, what is in your background that will help you to lead a diverse Army population, because the Army brings in diversity from across the country. We rotate those questions in different varieties, but essentially it's that type of question. So our candidates don't have to come up with a unique and innovative way to answer anything. It's precisely those questions. We're interested in how they see themselves interacting with others, and where they see their leadership strengths. We're also looking for grammatical correctness, the ability to write, to carry on a thought and carry it through to finality. We also use the SAT and ACT essays. It's mandatory for West Point applicants to take the essay. And even though the SAT requires the essay, the ACT does not require a student to take the ACT essay. However, West Point requires our applicants to complete that essay. Otherwise, we will not consider those ACT scores. West Point also is unique in its application process that we don't require letters of recommendation for application to West Point. We have what we call school official evaluations, and these are school teacher recommendations, and we're very specific on which teachers need to recommend their students to come to West Point. English recommendation, science, which would be either physics or chemistry, and then a math recommendation. And so that they have to take these recommendations to those teachers. Doesn't matter if it's their junior or senior year teacher. Those teachers can fill out that recommendation with a set form of questions, and also add on any comments that they want. And most of the teachers actually end up writing a recommendation in addition to our evaluation that we provide to them. It's funny, I've been working with college admissions since 1995. I have a daughter who is a senior in another university, and it wasn't until our admissions process with my daughter when she was in high school that I truly fully understood the stress associated with the college admissions process. I was always on the other side working in the admissions office. Having gone through that now, I think I'm more empathetic to the families and to the students, and I talk with them to start early. There's no rush if a student starts looking at colleges and universities, 9th, 10th grade, they don't need to get accepted by then, but at least start kicking the tires, see what's out there. See what they might be interested in pursuing. Very few 17-year-olds know what they want to do for the rest of their lives, but they do know what high school classes they like. They know what they enjoy doing. So find a school that offers those type of majors. I tell our parents and candidates, go out and look at different colleges and universities. Take about 5 or 6, one a big university, all the way down to a very small public college, and then go visit them and see what's the right fit, because some schools that are 40,000 students may be just enough for this candidate to say, this is where I want to be, whereas another student may be more closely aligned to a small school with, say, less than 4,000 students. But it's important for that student to make that determination. A lot of what's sent on paper, on the internet, read all of that, digest all of that, talk to the admissions counselors, but ideally make that visit. Visit at multiple times during the year if it's convenient, but and if not, then make that one visit to that college count. Go through the admissions office, link up with a student, see the classes, see the college campus the way that it's going to be during the academic year, and then help to make that decision.